Considered the birthplace of civilization, the Mesopotamian civilization is credited with many achievements in agriculture, writing, mathematics, and astronomy. Being the world's oldest civilization to be recorded, its rich history remains a topic worthy of discussion today. So, let's get to know the rise and fall of the great Mesopotamian civilization. Hi there. Welcome to our channel. Today we're going to delve back into learning about the history of the greatest empires and civilizations in our world. In this video, we're particularly discussing the beginning and demise of the Mesopotamian civilization. Some of its notable accomplishments include inventing the oldest known writing system, known as cuneiform, and establishing the first cities. But what many still don't know is how Mesopotamian civilization came to be and how it met its end. Before we begin, why don't you comment down and share with the others below what is your personal knowledge about the Mesopotamian civilization? Now, let's get to know the home for this civilization, Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia, which translates to between two rivers in Greek, denoted an ancient region situated in the eastern Mediterranean. It was bordered by the Zagros Mountains to the northeast and the Arabian Plateau to the southeast, encompassing present-day Iraq and parts of Iran, Syria, Kuwait, and Turkey. This area, often referred to as the Fertile Crescent and recognized as the cradle of civilization, was named for its fertile landmass between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. To the Arabs, it was known as Al Jazeera, meaning the island, signifying a fertile land surrounded by water. The term Fertile Crescent was introduced by Egyptologist J. H. Breasted in 1916 to describe the region located at the northern tip of the Persian Gulf, associated with the biblical Garden of Eden. During the period spanning from 3400 to 3000 BC in that region, all fundamental aspects of urban civilization emerged together for the first time. Cities with significant infrastructure and governmental bodies managing agricultural, economic, and religious affairs, the earliest documented writing system, and advanced architecture, arts, and technologies. These advancements primarily occurred in the southern region of Mesopotamia, where the predominant ethnic and linguistic community, until approximately 2000 BC, was the Sumerians. The Sumerians are renowned today for figures like Gilgamesh of Uruk, the artifacts discovered in the royal tombs at Ur, and the exquisite statues of Gudea, the ruler of Lagash. Around 2700 BC, the Sumerians coexisted with the Akkadians, whose king Sargon established the first enduring Mesopotamian empire. The Akkadian Semitic language eventually transformed into the dialects used by the Babylonians and Assyrians. These cultures, building upon the Sumero-Akkadian legacy, created the magnificent cities of Babylon and Nineveh. These cities were famous for their towering ziggurats, temples, palaces, and city walls. They also composed captivating creation myths, epics, hymns, and poems, and laid the groundwork for future developments in mathematics and astronomy. Before we further dig into the achievements of Mesopotamian civilization, let's travel back into its early years. The Fertile Crescent mentioned earlier, which encompasses the Levantine coast, the modern border between Iran and Iraq, and notable ancient sites like Göbekli Tepe and Jericho, provided perfect conditions for agriculture. This region harbored all 8 fundamental crops of Neolithic agriculture, including wild emmer wheat, barley, flax, einkorn, peas, lentils, chickpeas, and bitter vetch, along with easily domesticated animals such as pigs, sheep, cattle, and goats, as well as nearby horses. The Sumerian people, among the first farmers, established villages in Mesopotamia around 8000 BC. These humble beginnings eventually gave rise to some of the earliest large-scale civilizations. The initial agricultural settlements emerged in the northern region of ancient Mesopotamia and gradually expanded southwards, evolving over thousands of years into recognizable cities as understood by modern humans. The credit for these cities goes to the Sumer people. The city of Uruk, established around 3200 BC, marked the beginning of this urban development. It was a thriving city made of mud bricks, prospering due to trade and conquest. Uruk boasted public art, monumental columns, and temples. At its peak, the city was home to approximately 50,000 residents. By 3000 BC, the Sumerian people had established firm control over Mesopotamia. Sumer was composed of several independent city-states, including Eridu, Nippur, Lagash, Uruk, Kish, and Ur. The first ruler credited with uniting Sumer was Etana of Kish, although the historical existence of Etana and many other rulers listed in the Sumerian king list, compiled around 2100 BC, is uncertain. These figures are also prominent in Sumerian mythology. Following Etana, Meskiagashur, the king of Uruk, assumed power around 2750 BC. A warrior named Lugalbanda later took control of the region. We're just getting started with the rise and peak of the Mesopotamian civilization. What can you say about the Sumerians so far? Tell us in the comments below. Now, let's continue with the developments and advancements that occurred in this civilization. One of these included the earliest form of writing that originated in southern Mesopotamia around 3400 BC. Initially, it started as a system of pictographs, which evolved into the distinctive wedge-shaped script known as cuneiform by 2600 BC. This writing system was first used to record the Sumerian language and later adapted to write Akkadian, which eventually split into two dialects, Assyrian and Babylonian, around 2000 BC. Over the following 2 millennia, cuneiform scripts, including the Mesopotamian version and new adaptations created for about 15 other languages, spread to various regions including Iran, Armenia, Syria, Turkey, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, and Egypt. Babylonian remained the international diplomatic language among the region's great kings for much of this period. However, cuneiform eventually fell out of use in the late 1st century AD, supplanted by the simpler alphabetic scripts of Aramaic and Greek. Looking back to the period shortly after 6000 BCE, the emerging communities in the dry and mineral-poor plains of southern Mesopotamia managed to survive by developing irrigation systems and tapping into the existing trade routes of the region. Once established, they not only survived, but thrived. The plains of southern Mesopotamia, enriched by the sediment deposited by the Tigris and Euphrates rivers over millennia, became highly fertile due to irrigation. This transformation resulted in highly productive farmland, capable of supporting large populations. Archaeological evidence traces the evolution of these early southern Mesopotamian communities from the period just after 6000 BCE to historical times, witnessing their progression from agricultural villages to the world's first true cities, a development spanning 2.5 millennia. This rapid growth of a densely populated region in the Middle East likely accelerated trade in the area. Between 6000 and 4000 BCE, there was a significant population expansion in southern Mesopotamia. During this time, the pace of change increased, marked by the introduction of new inventions. Notably, the wheel had arrived by 4000 BCE, and within a few centuries, it was being utilized on ox carts. As cities in Mesopotamia expanded, there arose a need for increased organization. Secular leaders began to collaborate with priests in governing the cities, particularly in managing the division of labor. Under the Sumerians, Mesopotamia transformed into city-states. Each city had its own king, although they worked together cooperatively. To handle inter-city matters, taxes, and maintain cohesion, a complex system of government was necessary. This system included the employment of scribes to ensure the smooth and efficient functioning of these city-states. The 18 documented Sumerian cities in southern Mesopotamia were clustered alongside the branches and irrigation canals of the Euphrates River, situated in a narrow area stretching from south of present-day Baghdad to the borderlands near the Gulf. Within this region, there were two distinct language groups, Sumerian speakers in the south and Semitic speakers, specifically Akkadians, in the north. Early Mesopotamia, originally established by the Sumerians, was eventually overpowered by the Akkadian Empire under the leadership of Sargon, a figure about whom very little is known. He believed himself to be the offspring of a temple priestess, although he remained unaware of his father's identity. In addition to gaining control over Mesopotamia, Sargon expanded his empire into regions including Syria, Iran, Kuwait, Jordan, Turkey, and some speculate even Cyprus. He is credited with establishing the world's first enduring empire, as it persisted beyond his lifetime. Sargon ruled until his death in 2279 BC after a 56-year reign, and was succeeded by his son, Ramesh. Following his demise, Sargon attained a near-mythical status. He became revered as Sargon the Great, with legends recounting his remarkable achievements and exploits. However, in the 22nd century BC, the empire faced a period of decline and disintegration. This complex situation was marked by ineffective leadership, frequent invasions, and climate shifts. These factors combined and eventually led to the downfall of Mesopotamia. In common with many kingdoms, the decline of Mesopotamia was initiated by various administrative problems, notably a series of government incompetencies. It became evident that the Mesopotamian Empire lacked a robust governance system following the death of Sargon. Consequently, the empire gradually disintegrated into a territory without a central imperial authority until the emergence of the Third Dynasty of Ur. Subsequently, the region's political structure might have reverted to the previous state of local governance by individual city-states. During this period, Mesopotamia became increasingly susceptible to external threats. The primary threat came from the Gutians or Gutians, who exploited the weakened state and established their rule. Alongside their internal issues, Mesopotamia faced natural disasters. In the 22nd century, severe climatic conditions struck northern Mesopotamia, resulting in the destruction of the area and various consequences for the empire's well-being. The cause of Mesopotamia's collapse remains a topic of debate among experts to this day. One expert, Harvey Weiss, has put forth a theory suggesting that a sudden and prolonged drought devastated the productive regions in northern Mesopotamia, leading to the civilization's downfall. Throughout the 3,000 years of Mesopotamian civilization, each century paved the way for the next generation. Despite the eventual downfall of the empire, it remained a crucial repository of information for historians, offering valuable insights into the overall evolution of human civilization. What are your personal thoughts on the Mesopotamian civilization after learning about this history? Share them in the comments below. If you liked watching this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos like this, and make sure to get notified by ringing the notification bell. Thanks for watching.